Hello, I'm Sister Merrill. I'm from Colorado, and I just love the river. One of my favorite experiences on the river, I was in 7th grade on a river trip, and right by our campsite one night, there's this eddy, which is basically where there's a portion of the river that goes upstream. And so we thought it would be fun, in the main current there were some mild rapids, to just get our life jackets on and just go into the river without a boat or a raft or anything, and to just float down these rapids. And so it was cool, so cool. So we got our life jackets on and we all got into the river, and we swam over into the current, and like almost automatically, right when you got into the river, it just took you away, and you just had to like completely surrender to where the river was taking you. The waves, they just go into your face and are splashing all around, and it's scary because you don't know where it's going, and you know you need to get back into the eddy before you just are taken down the river. And so you look ahead, and then you have to swim as hard as you can back into the eddy. And this is so much fun, and I went around again and again. And that night I had a really cool experience. You know, I was laying in my sleeping bag and I was looking up at the stars, and I could hear the rapids out in the distance, and the wind was blowing super fast, so it was really hard to hear because the wind was so loud. And at this moment I just felt so small, but also so special. And it was really cool because I really realized that I'm not the one in control of things. God's in control of things. He's the one who's directing the river. You know, I can try to push against it, try to change my path, but really the river is the one that's guiding me and taking me. And it reminds me of this wonderful scripture. And this scripture is found both in the Bible and the Book of Mormon. And it says, "Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, for they toil not, neither do they spin." And just as God cares for the wonderful earth around us and the beauty of nature, He cares for each of us, and He's aware of each of us. And He counsels, "Take no thought for the morrow taketh thought for itself." And I just know that God, He is aware of us. He is leading us along on this path. And so we don't need to worry about where we're headed as long as we trust Him. So when you're full of fear and doubt, and maybe you're being tossed around by these rapids of life, I invite you to trust in the Lord with all your might, and lean not unto thine own understanding. He is aware of you. He is shaping you. Let Him do His job. Stop worrying about these things that we get so caught up that we can't control. Because as long as you trust in God, He will lead you along. And that is the lesson that I learned on the river.